Chapter 3374. When Lu Yen came to this city, she always remembered to keep a low profile and kill less people. First, she didn't want to kill her fellow Asians. Second, she didn't want to cause trouble for her sister's friend, the director of the Municipal Public Security Bureau. That was why she always showed mercy. For example, a few days ago, Lu Yen cheated that rich guy out of 10 million yuan for stuttering. Today, she was even more merciful. She only cheated him out of 60,000 yuan and treated everyone to a meal. She didn't expect this guy to come looking for death. A few burly men ran toward Lu Yen. The little girl was unarmed and wearing a hospital gown. They thought it would be easy to catch her. But before they could get close to her, they were all knocked down. Fuck? What's going on? Tao Kun, the leader, was also dumbfounded. I'm not in a good mood today. Get out of here. I don't want to kill you. Lu Yen stopped smiling and said in a low voice. Don't brag. Thus, if you can. The man didn't finish his sentence. The knife Lu Yen threw out instantly pierced through his heart, killing him with one stab. Boss? Boss. The men scrambled over and were shocked to see their boss with a knife in his heart. Yes, their boss, who had always been the leader of evil, was killed by an unarmed little girl in an instant. You killed someone? You'll pay with your life. One of the men looked back at Lu Yen and said viciously. Ha! Lu Yen sneered. What are you waiting for? Hurry up and call the police? Or the ambulance, hurry up. Lu Yen didn't expect these men to be so cowardly. They didn't dare to fight her and wanted to call the police. But Lu Yen wouldn't give them the chance. She dashed over and pulled out the dagger from the man's heart. Then, she cut their tendons one by one. You scumbags don't deserve to live. I've been doing good deeds recently and won't kill small fries like you. But if you don't know what's good for you and talk nonsense, then don't blame me for being ruthless. It's okay if you die, but it's not good if you drag your family into it. Then, Lu Yen stood up and took out a white tissue from her hospital gown. She gently wiped the blood-stained dagger. Those few people were lying on the ground, looking like they were in so much pain that they wished they were dead. In the past, this scene could only be seen in novels. In such a short period of time, 1, 4, and 3 were injured. The instigator was a little girl. If they told others, the police wouldn't believe them, right? Then, Lu Yen disappeared into the night. Only then did they realize that this woman seemed to be a professional killer. Otherwise, how could she be so efficient? But when did a professional killer appear in a place like Sea City? This was a riddle. Later, they were rescued by passers-by and sent to the hospital, which alerted the police. Gao Rant's branch began to investigate the case. When he asked them who did it and what the murderer looked like, they didn't dare to say anything. They were all afraid that the woman would come back for revenge. Therefore, Tao Kun's death became an unsolved case. Lu Yen used to kill people almost every day as if it was her daily job, so she didn't feel guilty at all. After the murder, she went back to the hospital and slept soundly. The next day, she wanted to leave the hospital, but Huamin was worried about his sister, so he forced Lu Yen to stay for one more day. In Singapore, and picked up Zheng Ro. When they got off the plane and walked out, and Zheng Ro were stopped by 4 men in black. Who are you? And frowned and looked at them warily, ready to fight. They're here for me, Zheng Ro said calmly. Chapter 3375. They're here for you? And was dumbfounded. But hearing Zheng Ro's words, he knew she knew the men in black. So, he pushed Zheng Ro into a black Audi A8L instead of the car Suyu had arranged for her. Soon, the car slowly stopped at the gate of a 5-star hotel. Miss, Madam said you can go in alone. The bodyguard stopped and, okay. Zheng Ro nodded and looked back at him, saying in a low voice, and don't worry. He's my mom's bodyguard. Your mother is here? And was enlightened. Yeah. She must have something to tell me. I'll go in and talk to her. Okay. Call me if you need anything. Hearing it was Zheng Ro's mother, and was relieved and didn't follow them in. The bodyguard pushed Zheng Ro into the hotel. In the penthouse suite, Zheng Ro saw her mother, a middle-aged woman in her 40s who looked graceful and elegant. She was dressed elegantly but didn't lose her sense of tradition. She didn't look like an ordinary citizen. Seeing her mother, Zheng Rou smiled obsequiously. The bodyguard pushed Zheng Rou's wheelchair into the room and walked out, leaving the mother and daughter alone to talk. Look at what you've done. Hearing that her daughter had been in a car accident, Zheng Rou was worried sick. She wanted to go to Singapore but heard her daughter had come back. After getting the news, Mrs. Zheng immediately came to see City with her men. After all, her identity was special. She rarely went out, so this meeting with her daughter was very secretive. I'm fine. I was traveling with a friend and was hit by a car, Zheng Rou said casually and reached out her hand to her mother. Seeing her daughter like this, Mrs. Zheng's heart ached. Sitting beside her, she put her hand on Zheng Rou's. Oh, you've been here for a while, right? Not long. How are you getting along with Suyu? Good. Really? But I heard Suyu doesn't like you? Mrs. Zheng looked displeased. Who told you that? It's just a rumor. Suyu treats me very well. When he heard I was in an accident, he sent his bodyguard to pick me up, Zheng Rou explained. His bodyguard? Why didn't he? Mrs. Zheng asked. That's because he's busy with the company. He's young and handsome, not a rich kid who has nothing to do. Zheng Rou defended Suyu in every way. Alright, stop lying to me. I know better than you what the truth is. Mom, let's not talk about it anymore. I'm here today because I'm worried about your injuries and I want to take you home. Mom, I don't want to go. Rou, no matter how good Suyu is, we don't have to be so humble. It's true that the Su family is a prominent family, but don't forget your identity. We don't need your marriage. You have to find a big shot. Come back to the province with me. Your dad and I want you to find someone who treats you well and cares about you. Even if he's an ordinary person, we'll accept him. You're our only daughter and we can't bear to see you suffer. Mom, what are you talking about? I'm not suffering. Suyu treats me very well. Really? Don't lie to me. I met with Suyu's mother. Lady Su told me everything. Huh? Zheng Rou panicked. Chapter 3376. What are you talking about? Do you really think I'm a dotard and gullible? Madame Zheng was a little angry as she looked at her unreasonably willful daughter. I just didn't expect that you've met Auntie Su, of course. If I ask you, will you tell me the truth? Zheng Rou, you're not young anymore. I've never interfered with your life. Even when you were in college, you had a boyfriend with your dad behind my back. Zheng Rou lowered her head guiltily. You are now at the age where you can talk about marriage. With your looks, education, and status in our family, you have a lot of choices. There is no need to make yourself look like a servant girl. I don't. When I lived in Suyu's house, I could only earn my own living. I don't have a maid. I'm not reliable. Then let me ask you, why did you suddenly want to go to Singapore? Mrs. Zheng looked serious. I wanted to go to Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand. But I had limited time, so I didn't go to Thailand and Malaysia. You still don't want to tell me the truth? Look at it yourself. Mrs. Zheng took out her cell phone and showed Zheng Rou several screenshots. Zheng Rou was dumbfounded. The screenshots in her mother's cell phone were from the netizens who scolded her after the scandal between Suyu and Nia Lingxian broke out on Weibo. You went to Singapore because of Suyu, right? No. It's really me. I think I should go to Singapore and lie low for a while. Why don't you go home? You're Secretary Zheng's daughter. Who dares to bully you? Mrs. Zheng was furious. She didn't understand. Although her daughter wasn't a shrew, she wasn't a pushover either. Why was she so submissive this time? I didn't want you and Dad to worry about me. Besides, those people don't know my family background and only think I'm an internet celebrity who popped out of nowhere. I didn't want to explain. My best friend happened to be in Singapore and invited me to visit her for a few days. It really has nothing to do with Suyu. Mom, don't blame him. What kind of drug did that brat Suyu give you? He treated you like that, yet you're still protecting him? Suyu is really a good person. You haven't met him, so you don't know his true personality. Actually, to understand a person, you can't learn from others. You have to see him with your own eyes and heart. Although I can't say that I'm the smartest, I'm not stupid either. I know what kind of person Suyu is. He's a good man, really. Mom, after I broke up with my boyfriend, my heart was like dead ashes. I always thought that all men were cheap. Now, I finally know what kind of man I like. I like Suyu. You? Child, don't you think it's embarrassing? Madame Zheng's generation was still very traditional. After all, he was a family member of a politician, so when he heard his daughter speak so bluntly, he felt that it was inconceivable. What's so embarrassing about that? Suyu isn't married either. He's not married and I'm not married. We're both single. Isn't that normal? Then what are your plans? I don't have any plans. I just like living here. This time, when I went on a trip, Suyu gave me money, but I didn't take it. I only took a red envelope from him. He's a very interesting person and is as innocent as a child. Speaking of Suyu, Zheng Ro smiled and praised him. Seeing her daughter so determined, Madame Zheng thought for a moment and suddenly said, "If you really like him, how about this? When your dad and I have time, we'll talk to Suyu's parents and settle your marriage." Chapter 3377. Oh, no. Please don't. Zheng Ro shook her head like a rattledrum. Don't you like that guy? Then you can talk to his parents about the marriage. But Suyu hasn't agreed yet. You can't do that. I don't care. My daughter is living here like a maid and taking care of his daily needs. What else does he want? But I'm willing to do it. Can you stop making trouble? I'm not making trouble. I'm doing it for your own good. If you like him, I'll help you. I think, with our family background, although it's not as good as the Su families, they won't reject us. I'll talk to Suyu's aunt later. Mom, a forced melon won't be sweet. The melon isn't ripe yet. Don't be so impatient. I'm not a bandit. I'm not going to rob a wedding. I don't care if a forced melon is sweet or not. If my daughter likes him, I'll force him to marry her. Mrs. Zheng, can you not be so capricious? After all, you're a family member of a government official. Don't make me and your dad worry, okay? No, Mom. Ever since I came here, I've been a good girl. Suyu even has bodyguards. I'll make you worry less. Mrs. Zheng, if I like him, I'll pursue him myself. If he rejects me, I'll slowly use my actions to influence him. This is between the two of us. Even if I can't move him in the end, we can still be friends. We're not enemies. Suyu is a good person. He's filial to his parents, good to his employees, and loyal to his friends. When it comes to the person he likes, he's even willing to give her his heart. I like him, he's a real man. He's a real man. This was the second time Zheng Ro praised Suyu in front of her mother. Hearing her daughter's words, Madame Zheng was powerless to interrupt. You're just like your father, as stubborn as a donkey. I really don't know what to do with you. Since you've already said so, I won't interfere anymore. You can handle your own matters, but remember, when you're outside, don't be wronged or bullied. Your father and I only have one baby, and we don't want you to be ordered around outside. How could that be? Your daughter is a little demon king. Even Suyu listens to me. Really? In order not to worry her mother, Zheng Ro kept talking about how well she got along with Suyu. In fact, other than the huge conflict with Suyu at the beginning, it was already very peaceful now. Although Suyu didn't like her, at least he didn't hate her. Zheng Ro felt that people's hearts could be warmed. If she slowly infiltrated his daily life, perhaps, one day, Suyu would be touched by her. How's your leg? I'll get a doctor from the province for you. Seeing her daughter not in the mood to go home to recuperate, Madame Zheng squatted down and looked at her daughter's injured leg with heartache. No. The hospital here is good. Besides, I heard there's an excellent doctor in Southside Recuperation Center. I want to register and see her. Really? Is she reliable? Do you need me to go with you? No. Now that I'm back, I want to stay at Suyu's house. I'll ask Suyu to accompany me. That doctor is Suyu's friend. In that case, I won't say more. Tomorrow, I'll go to a meeting with your father in Jing City. Okay, take care of yourselves. I will visit you often. A grown girl can't be kept at home. With a sigh, Madame Zheng walked her daughter to the door and left. and then took Zheng Ro back to Su Yu's house. I Hu Hansen am back. Zheng Ro wanted to tease him, but before she could finish, she was dumbfounded. Su Yu wasn't in the living room. Instead, there were two identical little girls sitting there and playing with their cell phones. Woman, you came back to blackmail my handsome Su again? Little Bean glanced at Zheng Ro and said impolitely. Chapter 3378. Hi. Zheng Ro knew the twins didn't like her, but she still greeted them. Little Bean turned her head and didn't speak. Pudding didn't want to embarrass her. Pudding nodded at Zheng Ro. Where's Su Yu? Zheng Ro at. He's upstairs getting changed, Pudding answered this time. Miss Zheng, shall I take you back to your bedroom to get changed? And asked. Thank you and you're welcome. When In pushed Zheng Ro into the house, he couldn't help but ask Pudding and Little Bean, has your auntie left? Auntie is in the hospital. Why is he hospitalized? Xiaoan was surprised and he looked anxious. My mommy said she got into a fight and got a concussion. Little Bean thought for a moment and described it. Got into a fight? Concussion? And felt the information was too much. He had gone to Singapore to pick up a person, and now she got into this accident. If he had stayed with that girl and protected her, she wouldn't have gotten into so much trouble, right? Uncle Lin, why are you asking about my auntie? Do you like her? Little Bean smirked. Ahem. Don't talk nonsense. Denying it, and pushed Zheng Ro into the bedroom. Who's their auntie? Who are you talking about? Zheng Ro gossiped. You don't know her. She's Dr. Hua's sister. Oh. In the living room, the twins began their fascinating conversation. Little Bean, sis, don't you think Zheng Ro is annoying? Pudding, she's okay. Little Bean, don't you think she's like those women with ulterior motives? She stays here all day, eats and stays in our handsome Su's house, and sometimes plays dumb to get our handsome Su's sympathy. She's so scheming. Pudding, if she really likes handsome Su, she can use some tricks to get him. Little Bean, huh? Sis, what's wrong with you? Why are you speaking for an outsider? Pudding, no. I'm just stating facts. Compared to those women, Zheng Ro is better. At least she has one thing. Little Bean, what is it? Pudding, she's not stupid enough to pick on our mommy. Little Bean, that's because she doesn't dare, right? Pudding, why wouldn't she dare? She just doesn't want to do it. I heard from mommy that she wants to be friends with mommy. Little Bean, she's not playing tricks, is she? She's using mommy to get handsome Su? Pudding, that's hard to say. We still need to see what kind of person she is. Little Bean, don't get so worked up. Are you happy if handsome Su stays single for the rest of his life? Little Bean, that's not what I meant. I just think Zheng Ro doesn't deserve handsome Su. Pudding, then who do you think is worthy? Little Bean, I think Auntie and Andy can do it. Anyway, all the women in our family can do it. Pudding, good. You go and see if Uncle Tang is going to kill you. Plus, Andy has a boyfriend. Don't try to matchmake her. Little Bean, forget it. I won't worry about it. Anyway, I don't think handsome Su would like a woman like Zheng Ro. Little Bean continued to play on her cell phone with the lollipop in her hand. After changing her clothes in her room, Zheng Ro came out with a few things. And, can you push me to see Su Yu? Okay. And nodded and pushed Zheng Ro to Su Yu's bedroom. Su Yu had just changed his clothes and was about to go out to meet her. You're back? Yeah. Are your feet okay? Are they serious? Seeing Zheng Ro in a wheelchair, Su Yu was worried. Chapter 3379. It's not serious. It's just a sprain. I'll be fine after some rest. Zheng Ro smiled. That's good. Su Yu nodded. This is a gift I bought for you from Singapore. I have a gift? Su Yu was surprised. You're not the only one. And got one too. Zheng Ro handed another bag to An. Thank you, Miss Singh. And took the gift without hesitation. Thank you. Su Yu didn't open the bag immediately and put the gift in. Then they went downstairs. President Su, I want to ask for leave from you, An said in a low voice behind Su Yu. Where are you going? Suyu was puzzled. Heard. Dr. Hua's sister is injured. I want to see her. Dr. Hua's sister is sick. She'll get better if you see her. You're not a doctor. Suyu teased him. I took Dr. Hua's sister out before. We're friends. That girl is very generous and spends money like water. She's a very nice person. I heard from Little Bean that she's in the hospital. I think I should go see her. When did you become so enthusiastic? Suyu asked. Boss, when did you become so nosy? And said shyly. By the way, buy us some food when you come back. We haven't eaten yet. Zheng Ro can't cook now, Suyu said. What do you want to buy? Buy whatever you like. Then, Suyu turned around and went to play games with Pudding and Little Bean on the couch. And hurried downstairs. To get to the hospital faster, he drove Suyu's Lamborghini. South Side Recuperation Center, and didn't know the girl's name and forgot to ask. He couldn't find out which room she was in, so he called Huamin. Huamin happened to be in his office. He took him to the ward. Lu Yan's subordinates were in the corridor and didn't stop him when they saw that he was brought in by Huamin. Young Mississippi, yes. Is Yen inside? I'm here. Huamin nodded and pushed the door open. And you go in first. I'm going to have a meeting. Okay, thank you, Dr. Hua. You're welcome. We should be thanking you for coming to see Lilton. Huamin smiled and left, and carried a fruit basket and walked in. Lying in bed, Lu Yan was playing a game. She didn't like to play with these things in the past, but ever since she got together with Psycho Qiao, she was deeply influenced by him. Hearing the footsteps, Lu Yan thought they were her subordinates. Get out. Don't come in if there's nothing important. Are your injuries all right? Xiaoan gritted his teeth and asked awkwardly. Hearing his voice, Lu Yan looked up. It's you? Yeah. I heard you were in the hospital, so I came to see you. With that, and put down the fruit basket. Fruit basket? It's a standard gift for visiting patients. Do you want to give me a red packet or something? Lu Yan teased an okay. I'll give you one now. No. I'm kidding. Sit down. Seeing and reaching for his wallet, Lu Yan was exasperated. I heard you got into a fight and got a concussion? And asked. Sort of, Lu Yan answered while playing the game. Can you still find those people? I'll avenge you, and said calmly. Those people? Forget it. I can't find them. Lu Yan thought to herself, we haven't found out who they are. How can you find them? This guy is so naive. Do you remember what they look like? I'll find them for you as long as they're from this city. And felt that Lu Yan was bullied and couldn't take it lying down. Chapter 3380. Oh, I don't remember. I didn't see them clearly. Did you offend someone? Why are they looking for you all of a sudden? Xiaoan analyzed. I guess they wanted to teach me a lesson because I was too arrogant. As for the mysterious people who had rescued Huasiqian, Lu Yan thought they must be very powerful and important figures. She decided to take things slow and stop investigating. She wouldn't tell anyone about it. Especially an ordinary person like an, are you seriously injured? It's not serious. It's just a slight concussion. I'll be fine after 2 days of sleep. If my sister didn't ask me to stay one more day, I would have been discharged today. Don't. Just listen to Dr. Hua. He's doing this for your own good. Lu Yan nodded. Do you want to eat an apple? I can peel one for you, and said. No. It's okay. I don't want one. Thank you. Then I'll wait until you're discharged. Okay, where do you want to go? I'll go with you so I can protect you. You will protect me? Lu Yan looked at it. I know you know some martial arts, but you're a girl after all. There are a lot of bad guys in this world. You'd better be on your guard. I'm Mr. Su's bodyguard. I once protected your sister, Dr. Hua, for 3 years. Please trust me. And said it with a straight face. Lu Yan almost laughed. I trust you. I trust you completely. I know all about your skills. Didn't you used to be a Special Forces soldier? How did you know? And was surprised. I heard from my sister that Suyu was a Special Forces soldier. Yeah. President Su was our squad leader. He was very powerful. I thought he'd stay in the army for the rest of his life. I didn't expect him to leave the army in the end. And sighed, thinking of the time when he was in the army with Su Yu, and felt his blood was boiling. I'm really fine. I don't need your protection. I can handle it myself, Lu Yan said. If I'm by your side, you won't get hurt. Kid, why are you so nice to me? Lu Yan looked at him and asked. I'm doing this because President Su told me to. You're Dr. Hua's sister, and President Su is a very, very good friend of Dr. Hua, so I have to protect you. What a lame excuse. And was speechless. I appreciate your kindness, but I really don't need your protection. Just focus on protecting Su Yu. Lu Yan smiled. Then he lowered his head and continued playing the game. Lu Yan looked very childish when she smiled. She also had small dimples. Xiaoan knew in his heart that such an outstanding girl like her wouldn't do anything to him. Just by looking at the speed at which she spent money, he knew that she must be very wealthy. Moreover, he had heard that she had been living abroad for a long time. Her status was not something that a small bodyguard like him could match. But Xiaoan still couldn't resist the temptation. This little girl's skills, personality, and style of conversation were all very interesting. Su Yu had always wanted to set him up with Zeng Ro, but he didn't dare to. After all, Zeng Ro was the daughter of Secretary Zhang. Besides, he and Zeng Ro were more like buddies. He didn't feel attracted to her, but this little girl was different. Even when he couldn't see her, he would think of her from time to time. Your name is Lu Yan? On his way here, he had heard her name from Huamin, but he hadn't asked in detail. Oh yeah, Lu Yan answered casually. It's a nice name, and said, Oh really? I used to complain that my dad didn't give me a good name. He must have named me Yan because he likes to smoke. Ha, you're funny. Hearing Lu Yan's words, and couldn't help but laugh. I'm serious. I'm not joking, Lu Yan said seriously. Lu Yan, how old are you? And asked boldly. Chapter 3381. What? Do you want to hit on me? Lu Yan's straightforward question almost made him choke. No. I just think you don't look very old. You look like a college student. Are you still studying abroad? I graduated a long time ago. Lu Yan didn't answer his question. Then how are you related to Dr. Hua? Aren't you sisters? Why are you asking so many questions? Don't you know curiosity killed the cat? Lu Yan glanced at him, amused. All right, pretend I didn't ask. Have you eaten? Do you want me to go out and buy you some supper? I'm not hungry. Oh, then go to bed early. I'll come and see you later. Don't come. I'll be discharged tomorrow. Okay. When you're discharged, I'll take you out to play. Hey, I don't need it. I can play by myself. Lu Yan felt this guy was very persistent. Don't be shy with me. I'll protect you for free. And joked and turned to walk out. Lu Yan rolled her eyes at his back. Damn it. Who's protecting who when we go out to play? When An walked out, Lu Yan's subordinates were still pacing back and forth in the hallway, looking very vigilant. They didn't look like ordinary bodyguards. They didn't wear black suits but ordinary casual clothes. However, their footsteps were very light. One look and Lu Yan knew they were martial artists. Especially when An accidentally caught a glimpse of a person with a black pistol behind his waist. And fell into deep thought, what did Dr. Hua's sister do? Why did she need so many people to protect her in the hospital? They were armed with heavy weapons and were on high alert. When An returned to Su Yu's house, he listened to the boss and bought supper for everyone. Su Yu didn't say anything but the twins were here. So, An bought the twins' favorite shrimp dumplings, soup dumplings, and lobster congee. Uncle An, I love you the most. You're the most sensible one, Little Bean praised An as she ate. An smiled but didn't speak. While everyone was eating, An pulled Su Yu aside. Zeng Ro and the twins ate supper together and occasionally quarreled. Zeng Ro didn't try to please the twins, but she didn't become their enemy either. She just argued with them from time to time. Pudding reacted well, but Little Bean didn't like Zeng Ro, so her words were harsh. What's going on? Su Yu looked at Xiaoan's mysterious look. President Su, what exactly does Dr. Hua's sister do? I don't know. I didn't ask. Su Yu was stunned. Oh, what's the matter? What did you find? Su Yu knew that Xiao must have an ulterior motive for asking this. I think that little girl's identity is not ordinary. Xiao said. How is it unusual? That little girl has a lot of people protecting her, and those people all have guns. Isn't that normal? You're my bodyguard, you also have a gun. Su Yu felt that Xiao was being paranoid. Listen to me. I looked at it, it's not an ordinary Type 54 pistol. I've seen pictures of it on the internet. It's the latest model, the AX-68, produced by the Israeli military factory this year. It's a very lethal pistol. When the bullet passes through the body, it will cause a silent explosion, which will expand the wound and cause severe damage to the cells and soft tissues of the body. I don't think an ordinary bodyguard would carry such a pistol. Then, Lu Yen has settled down abroad. Maybe it's popular in other countries, Su Yu analyzed. Boss, you can't always side with Lu Yen just because she's Dr. Hua's sister. You have to be realistic. And smiled bitterly. I'm being realistic. She's just a little girl. What can she do? You haven't seen her in person, have you? If you had, you would have sensed that she... And paused. Su Yu raised his eyebrows as if waiting for him to continue. Chapter 3382. What about her? Damn it. Can you not finish your sentence? You're choking. And didn't finish his sentence, which made Su Yu anxious. There's a mysterious aura around her. Lin Fan muttered. That's it? Su Yu looked at him and gritted his teeth in anger. There's another feeling that I can't describe. She's not domineering, and thought Lu Yen was a mystery. No matter how he tried to describe her, it was indescribable. I can summarize what you said with 2 words, Su Yu said. Which 2 words? Bandit aura. And couldn't help but laugh. What are you laughing at? President Su, you're really talented. Shut up. Don't laugh. Just admit that my description is accurate, right? Su Yu looked up. It's a little interesting. I'm sure you don't dare to say that in front of Lu Yen. Humph. Why wouldn't I dare? Su Yu hadn't officially met Lu Yen, but he wasn't someone who liked to brag. If you have the chance, you can try saying it in front of her. I want to know what you'll experience. Xiao felt that the scene in his mind was exciting enough. I don't want to talk nonsense with you. Take Pudding and Little Bean back. They're not staying here for the night. And was surprised. I don't want Mion to worry. You'd better take them back. In fact, Su Yu didn't want them to leave either. Of course, he wanted to keep the 2 kids, but he still had lingering fears after what Jian Tong did. Su Yu was afraid that if something happened to the twins at home, he wouldn't be able to explain it to Mion. So, after much consideration, he decided to take them back. After supper, and walked over with the car keys. Let's go. I'll take you back. Who said we're going back? Pudding looked up. That's right, Uncle Xiao. Why you like this? I bought you ice cream for nothing. How can you treat me like this? And felt wronged. Stop fooling around. It's my idea to send you back. So you said, but when we came here, we already said that we're not going back. My mommy knows and agreed. Little Bean was a little agitated. It's too late. You should go back in case your daddy misses you. Handsome Su, you don't have to worry if you're worried that my daddy will get mad. Our old Sheen isn't that petty. If you don't believe me, I can call him right now and ask him to talk to you. If you still don't believe me, I can watch the video and you can see my daddy's micro-expressions. Little Bean was so eloquent that Su Yu almost didn't know what to say. It's not like that. I know your daddy isn't angry. I just think, it's not safe for the 2 of you to spend the night outside. This isn't someone else's house. Handsome Su, what do you mean? Are you going to kick us out because that woman is back? Little Bean pouted. At the same time, she vented all her anger on Zheng Ro. Zheng Ro, who was drinking Coke, almost choked on it. I won't take the blame for this, she said. It has nothing to do with Zheng Ro. You can't stay here even if she doesn't come back. I don't want you 2 to stay here. Be good and I'll pick you up tomorrow, okay? Su Yu squatted down and coaxed the twins. Handsome Su, you don't love us anymore? For the first time, Pudding acted coquettishly with Su Yu in front of so many people. Su Yu didn't know what to do. Chapter 3383. Of course not. But you weren't like this before. Now you want to drive us away. Tears welled up in Pudding's eyes. Seeing her sister like this, Little Bean immediately began to act. Handsome Su, I didn't expect you to change your mind so quickly. Did you fall in love with other kids? Do you think we've grown up and aren't as cute as before? No, I really didn't. At this moment, Su Yu felt even more wrong than the woman named Daoist. If you really don't want us to stay here and disturb you, we'll leave. Pudding said. Yeah. We'll leave and never come back again, Little Bean added. Hey, no. Little ancestors. Stop it, okay? Don't be like this. My heart. Su Yu thought the twins were scarier than Huamin when he was angry. Dr. Hua was angry at most, but the twins were angry and coquettish, which made Su Yu's heart ache. Who's the one who's making a fuss? We were worried that you'd be lonely, so we left Daddy and Mommy at home in the middle of the night to accompany you. We ate, drank, and played games with you. What about you? Now that your friends are back, you want to drive us away? Little Bean's face darkened. Seeing this, Zheng Rou immediately said, Su Yu, do you dare to stop them? If they leave, I'll never be able to clear my name. Little Bean, we won't leave. Please don't attack me, do you mean it? Pudding stole a glance at Su Yu. Of course. Stay okay? Su Yu began to coax the two little ancestors. Sure, but since you wanted to drive us away just now, it has already caused serious psychological trauma to us, so, Little Bean paused in the middle of her sentence and exchanged a look with her sister. So what? Su Yu had a bad feeling. So, you should make it up to us, Little Bean said. Fuck, this is blatant extortion. The two of you are clearly setting a trap for me. Su Yu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. What are you talking about? Who was the one who suggested kicking us out? Little Bean was not convinced. It's me. I dug a hole for myself. Okay? He really didn't dare to continue offending her. You were the one who started it, okay? So, you have to make it up to us. President Su, do you need me to get the check for you? And snickered. Scram to the side. Don't be a busybody. I don't want a check, Little Bean refused. Then how about sending red packets on WeChat? I'll send more red packets to both of you. Su Yu smiled. No, it's free. We don't need money, Pudding said. Yes, we don't lack money, Little Bean said confidently. So, little ancestors, what are you two trying to do? Su Yu really regretted his words just now. If he had let them stay, everything would have been fine. Now, someone had caught hold of his weakness and ruthlessly extorted him. It's very simple. We only have one request, Little Bean said. Yes, one request. Pudding repeated Little Bean's words. What do you want? Su Yu was also anxious. Sis, you tell them. You're the best person to tell them. Pudding looked at Little Bean. No. I've said so much. It's your turn. The two sisters bickered on the side. Su Yu waited for a long time but didn't get an answer. He was going crazy. Ladies, can you stop quarreling? Tell me first, what do you want from me? My little heart. Su Yu covered his heart and pretended to fall on the sofa. Chapter 3384. Okay, I'll do it, Pudding answered seriously. So? Su Yu waited for her to continue. We think it's better this way. We won't cheat you out of your red packet, money, or gifts. We'll just cheat you out of a meal. That's it? Su Yu didn't believe it. Of course not. Then who should I invite? You don't want me to invite Dr. Hua, do you? Su Yu was puzzled. In your dreams. My daddy will be jealous if you invite my mommy to a meal alone. Little Bean chuckled. Su Yu, I feel embarrassed for you, Su Yu. Zheng Rou snickered. Shut up. Su Yu rolled his eyes at her. Of course I'm not inviting my mommy. I'm inviting my auntie, said Pudding. Your auntie? Su Yu didn't understand. Lu Yen. My auntie, Lu Yen, Little Bean emphasized. Cough, cough, cough. Xiao coughed violently, clearly agitated. Who's Lu Yen? Zheng Rou had just come back and looked puzzled. She had never heard of Lu Yen. She's, Dr. Hua's sister, and told her in a low voice. Invite your auntie? Su Yu was still puzzled. I don't care. If you want to make it up to us, you must invite my auntie to a big meal. My auntie will be discharged tomorrow. You'd better send more cars to pick her up at the hospital and take her to a hotel for a big meal to celebrate her recovery, said Little Bean. Yes, it must be grand and extravagant to make my auntie happy, Pudding agreed. I don't think so. Your auntie is nice to you and you should be filial to her. Lu Yen isn't my auntie. Why do I have to make her happy? Su Yu didn't think this request was reasonable, and he even tried to reason with the twins in a serious manner. I'm afraid he's trying to matchmake you. Zheng Rou wasn't stupid. She seemed to understand what the twins were thinking. Miss Zheng, you're fast. That's what happened. Little Bean was trying to piss Zheng Rou off, so she immediately started a conversation with her. Stop messing around. You too, stop talking nonsense. Su Yu felt awkward. It was one thing for the kids to fool around, but it was in front of An and Zheng Rou. We're not messing around. We're serious. Just tell us if you're going to treat him or not. If you're not going to invite us, are you going to leave now? Yes, that's right. We'll leave now. Pudding put away her phone and got up to leave. Io, my little ancestor, you've been tricked, okay? We're serious about matchmaking. Little Bean raised her chubby little face. Does your mommy know about what you two are doing? So you asked, what does it have to do with my mommy? Dr. Hua doesn't have to worry about such a small matter, Pudding said. Does your auntie know? Su Yu asked again. We don't have to tell her. We'll give her a surprise tomorrow. Ha. Little Bean made a face. Pudding, Little Bean, let me tell you. Su Yu seemed to be about to lecture them. But the twins seemed to know what he was talking about and immediately covered their ears. We won't listen to you. Just tell us if you agree or not, the twins threatened in unison. Su Yu was in a dilemma. He didn't expect the two kids to push him into a corner tonight. If you don't refuse, we'll take it that you agree, Little Bean said. Handsome Su, you won't make us sad, right? Pudding continued. Chapter 3385. Forget it, forget it. I agree, okay? Can't you two go to sleep? What time is it? Su Yu thought it was too late to stay here and confront the two kids. He would treat Lu Yen to dinner since he didn't lack money. He would pick up Lu Yen from the hospital. After all, she was Hua Mian's younger sister. Seeing Su Yu give in, the twins were overjoyed. She danced up the stairs to sleep. Afraid they would be naughty, Su Yu found new bath towels for them and escorted them upstairs. Only An and Zheng Rou were left in the living room. The atmosphere was awkward. An glanced at Zheng Rou and saw her uneasy expression. Miss Zheng, the twins are good people. They have a deep relationship with President Su and don't fight with each other. They don't mean to piss you off. Please don't take it to heart. I know. Zheng Rou nodded. Lying on the sofa with her arms crossed, she bit her lower lip and said slowly, Su really loves the twins. Of course. Mr. Su has been taking care of the twins since they were still in their mother's womb. Although he's not their biological father, he's no different from a biological father. Let's put it this way. To exaggerate a little, Mr. Su's love for the twins is no less than Mr. Qin's. And had a deep understanding of this. They're Hua Min's children, so Su Yu loves them so much. It's only right that he loves them, Zheng Rou said. About President Su and Dr. Hua. And wanted to say something but didn't know what to say. You don't have to say it. I know about Su Yu's past and I'm prepared for it. Zheng Rou smiled. Miss Zheng, the truth is, President Su's heart isn't that easily moved. I know you've been good to him while you've been living here, but love is all about fate. I know. I don't understand anything. I don't have any requirements. I won't force Su Yu or pressure him. I'll just let him develop his relationship with me. To be honest, even if we're not destined to be together, it's good to be friends. Su Yu is loyal, funny, and sometimes funny. I really like him. That's good. If you think so, it's good. Let's talk about you. I heard you had a wedding party in your hometown and asked Su Yu for a honeymoon. What's wrong with you? Why do you say you're single? Where's your wife? Zheng Rou gossiped. It's a long story. Don't do that. Promote, I'm willing to listen to gossip. What are you unhappy about? Hurry up and tell me to make me happy. Zheng Rou asked with a smile. And was exasperated. With Zheng Rou's personality, it was hard to believe that she was the daughter of a governor. Her father was much more powerful than Song Yishe and Yan Ruoxi's father. But why didn't she look like a lady from a big family? She looked more like a paparazzi. There's nothing much to say. I can only say that I was wrong about her. She's also from the countryside, just like me. I thought I found the right person. I didn't expect her to be looking for someone like President Su, not a lackey like me. And smiled bitterly. What? It sounds sad. It's a tragedy, isn't it? Well, I'm quite hurt, but I don't blame her. Every man for himself. She loves money, and it's not a problem for her to find a rich and powerful man. What kind of development can a stinky bodyguard like me have? Xiaoan laughed at himself. I don't think so. Think about it. A bodyguard is important. When Suyu goes out to pick up girls, drink, or fight, you're the one who cleans up the mess, right? Otherwise, he would have been beaten to a pulp. Zheng Rou mocked Suyu to tease, and Suyu, who was walking downstairs, happened to hear her. I knew you wouldn't speak well of me behind my back. You eat and drink my food, yet you mock me. Do you believe that I'll break your leg too? Suyu scolded. Chapter 3386. Hey, Suyu. Eavesdropping isn't a gentleman's thing to do. Zheng Rou was embarrassed. So, speaking ill of others behind their backs is a gentleman's thing to do? Suyu raised his eyebrows. I'm not a gentleman. Zheng Rou chuckled. Neither am I. So, don't talk to me about morality. Damn it. Suyu, you're such a petty man. You're so petty. Ignoring Zheng Rou, Suyu glanced at an eye. I didn't say anything. And was scared that his boss would vent his anger on him. You two are having a good chat? Are you having fun? Suyu stared at him. You were fine. And swallowed. I think you two are a good match. Why don't you move to the same room? You don't have to gossip in the living room every day. And, Zheng Rou, fuck. Suyu, what do you mean? How dare you frame us? Suyu said, Miss Zheng, watch your words. I'm doing this for your own good. I think you and Ng get along very well. Why don't you two be a couple? No. Don't make me feel uncomfortable. President Su, Miss Zheng is too powerful for me. And was exasperated. Suyu was angry at the twins and couldn't vent his anger, so he decided to use Zheng Rou and N as an example. Zheng Rou was too much. How could she speak ill of Suyu for no reason? Did someone hear her? It's okay. I'll ask my grandpa to give you a military rank in the military and give you some money to open a company or something. You'll have a house, a car, savings, a company, and a military rank. You'll be more than enough for Miss Zheng. Ahem. Boss, please forgive me. And almost choked to death. Suyu, you shameless bastard. Our friendship is over. Zheng Rou was furious. What was Suyu doing? He was trying to match Xiaoan and Zheng Rou, who had nothing to do with each other. Suyu smiled and patted him on the shoulder. Okay, I'll stop talking nonsense with you two. And what do you think we should do when we pick up Mian tomorrow? How would I know? Weren't you the one who promised the twins? How many cars are left in our garage? Suyu asked. For some of the others are used by the company, and some have been lent out by you. Only your Lamborghini, a Mercedes-Benz, and 2 Porsches, estimated. That won't do. How about this? I'll call Tang Chuan later and borrow a few more. It's just picking up a woman. Is there a need to make such a big fuss? Zheng Rou was a little jealous. With her identity, no one had come to pick her up, but Dr. Hua's little sister, a little girl, had to borrow cars from Suyu. What a difference in treatment. It's because I promised the twins that I can't break my promise. I'm a man of my word. By the way, what does Lu Yen like to eat? What should I treat her to for lunch? Su Yu found it a big problem. She likes casserole noodles, and blurted out. How do you know? Zheng Ro looked at him curiously. Oh, that's because I was asked to take care of Lu Yen before, so I took her to eat casserole noodles in a long line. No. If I treat her to casserole noodles, pudding and Little Bean will kill me. Su Yu shook his head, thinking it was a bad idea. What about the seafood feast? What do you think? Su Yu thought Huang Min liked seafood, so Lu Yen should like it too. Chapter 3387. That won't do. She doesn't like it. I asked her. Lu Yen is a weirdo. Su Yu was speechless at the girl's preference for roadside stalls instead of fancy meals. If we're talking about weirdos, they're on par with you, Xiaoan murmured. What did you say? Su Yu rolled his eyes at an opposite. Lu Yen is a weirdo. On the other side, Su Yu and An stayed up all night discussing what to treat Lu Yen to. On the other side, Lu Yen sneezed several times. Boss, are you okay? Do you have a cold? Her subordinates were frightened and immediately came in with a blanket to add another layer to Lu Yan's body. I'm fine. By the way, has Psycho Qiao contacted you? No. What's wrong? Her subordinates looked puzzled. Nothing. You can leave now. Lu Yen waved her hand impatiently and sent them out. Then she tried to contact Xiao Fei with her watch, but he didn't pick up her calls. Damn it. How dare you not pick up my calls? Lu Yen cursed to herself. Then she called him again, but he still didn't pick up. Finally, Lu Yen couldn't take it anymore and sent him a text message. Xiao Fei, you damn psycho, you're neither a man nor a woman. Damn transvestite. How dare you not pick up my calls? Good for you. When I see you, I'll skin you alive and pull out your tendons. After a long while, Xiao Fei replied, I don't talk to untrustworthy scumbags. Damn it. Who's untrustworthy? Who's the scumbag? Damn it. Lu Yen felt wronged. Xiao Fei's intelligence network was very good, so he knew immediately what Lu Yen did and who she met on the way here. Not only did Lu Yen not keep a distance from the opposite sex, but she also flirted with local hooligans on the street. Xiao Fei felt that she should be given a small punishment, and that was to stop talking to her and leave her cold. In the manor in Moscow, Xiao Fei was called to the main garden by his father for a chat. It had been a long time since the father and son sat alone and drank tea. Fei, you've been in low spirits since you came back. Haven't I always been like this? But I keep feeling that you have something on your mind. Father, you think too much. Is the maid you brought back reliable? Did you find out if he's truly loyal to you or a spy planted by Lu Yen? I know what to do. Your eldest brother has been away for the past few years and has rarely contacted me. Right now, there are only you and your second brother in the family. However, your second brother is ambitious and ruthless. Some of the elders in the family are against him and hope that I can nurture you. Forget it, I don't care about family matters. Xiao Fei lowered his head. His short silver hair shone strangely in the night. No one could tell what his expression was. But do you know that once your second brother takes over, if he wants to eliminate the root of the problem, your life will be in danger, Xiao Fei's father said in a serious tone. Then let's see who's more fortunate. Are you still thinking about that woman? Fei, Lu Yen isn't the right woman for you. She's a wild horse that has weaved through bullets since she was a child. She's used to being wild and unruly. You can't control her. You should get some rest. Glancing at his watch, Xiao Fei stood up coldly and stopped talking to his father. Looking at his son's back, Xiao Fei's father sighed slightly. He seemed to never be able to guess what his son was thinking. When Xiao Fei returned, Amy was mopping the floor. Suddenly, she covered her abdomen with sweat on her forehead and looked pained. Young Master Qiao, you're back. Yeah. You don't look well. Xiao Fei glanced at Amy and asked mildly. I'm fine. I just ate something bad. Amy didn't know that she had been drinking coffee. What do you think of Lu Yen? Xiao Fei suddenly asked. Lu Yen was a woman who wasn't liked since she was little, Xiao Fei said. At this moment, far away, Lu Yen saw the scene on the surveillance camera and was about to explode in fury. Damn it. I'm going to Russia now. Then she got off the ground barefoot and walked out without even putting on her shoes. Chapter 3389. Boss, where are you going in the middle of the night? Her subordinates looked puzzled. To Moscow. Why are you going to Moscow? To kill the adulterer and his wife. Hearing that Lu Yen was going to Moscow, her subordinates didn't agree. 5 or 6 of them walked up and pinned Lu Yen against the wall of the hospital corridor. Let go of me. Do you want to rebel? Lu Yen roared. Boss, you must control yourself. It's your plan with young Master Qiao. If you go there, the plan. What bullshit plan? Xiao Fei and that little bitch AI me are cursing me behind my back? Fuck, I can't take this anymore. Seeing Lu Yen was agitated, one of her subordinates said in a low voice, Go and tell young Master Qiao to come here. Boss, calm down. Calm down. Calm down my ass. I'm going to Russia now. I'm going to blow them up. Lu Yen raised her hand. Calm down, boss. Impulsiveness is the devil. On the other hand, Xiao Fei yawned when he was almost done talking. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. You go to bed too. Young Master Qiao? Amy was reluctant and seemed to have other ideas. Young Master Qiao, I can wait on you to sleep. She lowered her head and said vaguely. Lu Yen heard her words clearly since she didn't turn off the Bluetooth on her watch. She was wearing earphones and couldn't see the video, but she knew what Amy was thinking. Putter that. Xiao Fei fuck. If you dare to touch her hair, I'll castrate you. Lu Yan's curses scared her subordinates out of their wits, thinking their boss had lost her mind. No. You go to bed. Xiao Fei refused Amy's offer. Then, he glanced at a very small aircraft outside the window, smiled meaningfully, and went to sleep. Tonight, he got his revenge on the jealousy he had been feeling these days. Lu Yen dared to make him angry, so he wasn't easy to deal with. Today's incident might even infuriate her and make her come to Moscow. It was good that she came. Xiao Fei couldn't stand it anymore since he missed that brat so much. If he didn't quarrel with her, he suddenly felt that life had become boring. Lu Yen was so excited that she was about to go to Moscow. Qin Chu drove Huamin over. Xiao Yen, what happened? Young Mississippi, when the subordinates saw Huamin, they finally breathed a sigh of relief. Sister, why are you here? Seeing his sister, he calmed down a lot. It's all your fault. I was dreaming about Hot Pot when your men woke me up. They said that you went crazy in the middle of the night and wanted to go to Russia? Huamin asked as he walked over. Why are you going to Russia? Murder. Kill who? Huamin asked again. Adulterous couple. Who are the adulterers? Aya, sister, don't ask anymore. I can't explain it to you in a few words. Huh? I'll be back soon. No. You can't go anywhere. Your brother-in-law said you're in a dangerous situation. Have you forgotten how you got a concussion? Huamin felt that someone was watching Yen, a big shot with an unknown identity. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to save Huasiqian from her so easily. Sister? Lu Yen looked helpless. What sister? You can only stay in the hospital. Do you believe that I'll have someone give you a sedative right now? Huamin said with a straight face. Chapter 3390. Sedatives? Lu Yen was dumbfounded and didn't dare to speak. Her subordinates secretly gave Huamin a thumbs up. After working for their boss for years, no one dared to talk to her like this. Even if it was her own father, she wouldn't listen to him and would just hang up on him. Now that Madame Lu said she was going to give her a sedative, Lu Yen was scared. Yes, she was afraid of her sister. It was that simple. Sis, don't give me a sedative. I'm not sick. Have you calmed down now? Huamin asked. Are you still going to Moscow? Lu Yen shook her head. Then why are you still in the hallway? Go back now. Huamin glared at her. Yes, my queen. Then, Lu Yen obediently turned around and walked in, followed by Huamian. To give the two sisters time to talk, Qin Chu lit a cigarette and sat in the hallway. President Qin, your wife is awesome. 32 likes. Lu Yan's subordinates looked at Qin Chu and laughed. Yeah. That's the law of the world. Everything has its weakness. Qin Chu knew what they were going to say. With our boss's temper, I thought she would never be afraid of anything. But she's afraid of Madame Lu. Yeah. This is great. In the future, when our boss goes crazy, we'll call Madame Lu. You have to be in a hurry. Calling doesn't work. You have to see her in person, Qin Chu said. Then let our boss stay with the first young lady. Her subordinates began to talk about it excitedly. In the ward, Sis, do you think Xiao Fei wants to die? Lu Yan angrily told Huamin everything. She told him about their plan, their Cold War, and their refusal to answer her phone. She also told him about how Xiao Fei talked bad about her to Amy. Why do I feel like you're jealous? Huamin looked at Lu Yan with a smile. What? I'm jealous? Impossible. Lu Yan refused to admit it. Look at you. You're so stubborn. You're obviously jealous. Xiaoyan, you're so smart. You should know that Xiao Fei said those things to piss you off. He must know that you have a surveillance camera. That's why he said those things to Amy. Does he have nothing better to do? Is he trying to piss me off? Lu Yan cursed. Didn't you piss her off before? Huamin laughed. I didn't do it on purpose. Okay, I went out to play and got caught by those flies, Lu Yan explained. That's enough. No matter what the reason is, the two of you are just a couple quarreling. Look at you. You want to blow people up for no reason. Who would dare to marry you in the future? Fuck, I don't need him to marry me. All I have is money. What kind of man can't I find? 365 days. Even if I change a man every day, I can persist for 80 years. That's enough. Look at you speaking out of anger again. You two are really childish. After the whole thing was made clear, Huamin realized that even a domineering girl like Yen could have a jealous and childish side. Sis, should I just let it go? Of course not. Didn't you two agree that when the time is right, you'll go and catch those people in one fell swoop? Yeah. But I can't wait. You can't wait to see Xiao Fei, right? No. I don't want him. I just want to, kill that traitor Amy, Lu Yan lied. I don't believe you. By the way, sis, you two came out in the middle of the night. Where are the twins? My nieces didn't come with you. They didn't come back tonight. They're sleeping at Su Yu's house. What? Lu Yan was so surprised that her eyeballs almost fell out. Chapter 3391. They're sleeping in Su Yu's house. Damn. They're so close to Su Yu. Lu Yan was surprised. Yeah. Su Yu watched them grow up. Then, won't he be jealous? Lu Yan was surprised. I'm not the one living in Su Yu's house. Why would he be jealous? Ha. Sis, you're so funny. Huamin's serious words made Lu Yan laugh. She didn't look like she was going to eat him alive. At the Su family, it was late at night and everyone went to bed. The twins were lying on the bed, still talking about their worries. Little Bean, sis, do you think we went too far tonight? Pudding, you mean Zheng Ro? Little Bean, yeah. After all, we don't know Zheng Ro well. Pudding, we're doing it for Handsome Su. We've tested all the scheming bitches with a few words. Zheng Ro's background is unknown and we don't know what she wants from Handsome Su. It's normal for us to test her character since she's living here. Little Bean, even so, if Mommy finds out, she'll scold us for being rude. Pudding, how would Mommy know? And won't tell her and neither will Handsome Su. Us. Zheng Ro tells on us to Mommy. Little Bean, if she tells on us, it means she's not a good person either. Pudding, right? Handsome Su is old and needs a girlfriend. I think he won't blame us since we're helping him. Little Bean, I'm sure he won't. He loves us so much. I'm just afraid that we'll scare Zheng Ro away if she turns out to be a good person. Pudding, I don't think so. She moved in alone and was quite brave. I don't think she'll be scared away by two kids. Little Bean, sis, I like Auntie Cece's sister. She's very nice. Pudding, I like her too. but handsome Su doesn't like her. Auntie Xianxian is too gentle and can't control handsome Su. Little Bean, you're right. If Auntie doesn't have a boyfriend, she'll definitely be able to control handsome Su. Pudding, I think even if Auntie doesn't have a boyfriend, handsome Su won't like her. Little Bean, what? Pudding, with handsome Su's temper, do you think he'll be able to stand calling mommy, sister, when they meet? Little Bean, hey, now that you mention it, it really is. Pudding, so, let's continue to test Zheng Ro. If she has a good character and is sincere to handsome Su, she'll be a good match for him. Little Bean, yeah. When Daddy investigated her, he said that her father is a high-ranking official in the province. That's not bad. Grandma Su will like it. Pudding, yeah. Mommy said that a good man like handsome Su needs an excellent woman to be worthy of him. Little Bean, yeah, then we'll continue to play the bad guys. Handsome Su loves us so much, this little misunderstanding is nothing. Finding a good girlfriend is more important than anything else. Pudding, bootlicker, after being sisters with you for so long, your words today are the most humane. Little Bean, go away. Don't talk nonsense. Go to sleep. I wonder what Zheng Ro's expression will be when Auntie comes tomorrow. I wonder if she can pass such a difficult test. Pudding, it depends on fate and whether she's lucky enough to be with handsome Su. Who would have thought that the conversation between a pair of 3-year-olds would be so profound? In fact, Little Bean and Pudding loved Su Yu deeply, so they had been looking for a girlfriend for Su Yu. From Qin Ning to Lu Yen, they had racked their brains for a way to deal with her. Zheng Ro didn't know that she was being tested by the twins. She just thought that the twins were hostile to her. At 6:30 a.m. the next morning, with a group of drivers, Su Yu and An drove 12 luxury cars to Southside Recuperation Center in a grandiose manner. At this moment, Lu Yen was sleeping soundly as if she didn't know what was going on. Chapter 3392. They watched as the group of people walked toward Lu Yan's ward. Lu Yan's subordinates were on high alert, afraid that they were enemies. They didn't feel relieved until they saw the twins. "Young ladies, you're early." A subordinate who knew the twins greeted them fawningly. "Is Auntie inside?" Little Bean asked. "Boss is sleeping inside. She slept late last night." "Is Auntie insomnia because she's not feeling well?" Pudding was worried. "It's just our boss. Maybe she misses her friends too much. Last night she wanted to go out to see them, but she was stopped by Miss, who is your mommy." "Oh, I'll go wake her up." Little Bean walked into the ward. "Young lady, boss hates being woken up. Why are you here so early?" "Nothing. We're here to pick up Auntie from the hospital," Little Bean said with her chubby hands clasped behind her back. "Let's wait for a while. I'm afraid boss will get mad if you go in now." Hearing this, Little Bean and Pudding glanced at each other, wondering if they should go in now. "Rock, paper, scissors. The loser goes in," Little Bean said. "Okay," Pudding agreed. Waking up Auntie wasn't an easy task. With Lu Yan's short temper, she'd probably explode. So, the twins didn't dare to do anything rash. Instead, they decided to play rock, paper, scissors. "Come on. Rock, paper, scissors." Little Bean took out paper and Pudding took out scissors. "You lose," Pudding said. "It doesn't count." "Best of 3, Little Bean said. "Shameless. Go in and wake up Auntie." Pudding didn't give her a chance to argue. Sweat dripped down Little Bean's forehead. She walked in with a dark face and even forgot to knock on the door. She quietly approached Lu Yen. Her voice was soft, afraid to disturb Lu Yen. Although Lu Yen appeared to be asleep, she had developed a habit of sleeping lightly after years of being hunted down. She would wake up at the slightest sound and enter battle mode. Little Bean walked over quietly and was about to pat Lu Yan's shoulder when Lu Yen suddenly grabbed her. Lu Yen suddenly turned around and almost strangled him. Fortunately, he saw it was Little Bean, or else his throat would have been crushed by Lu Yen. "Auntie, it's me. Little Bean was scared out of her wits. "Little Bean, why are you here so early?" Lu Yen was confused. My sister and I are here to pick you up from the hospital." "It's too early to pick me up from the hospital." It's not even 7 o'clock yet. Are you two messing with me on purpose? And he treats you too well. Lu Yan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. This was the feeling of being disturbed early in the morning. She was sure that if it wasn't Little Bean and Pudding who came in, anyone else would have been lying on the ground with their mouths on the ground. Well, we have a custom here. When a patient is discharged from the hospital, his family should come and pick him up early. That way, he won't get sick in the future. Is there such a custom? Why haven't I heard your mommy mention it before? My mommy is very busy. She's the vice director of the hospital and has a lot of work to do every day. She doesn't have time to talk to you about this. Hurry up and get changed. We have a surprise for you. There's a surprise? Lu Yan looked at her niece in amusement. Yeah. I promise it's a surprise. Hurry up and get changed. Then, Little Bean picked up the clothes Lu Yan had placed on the sofa and put them on the bed, urging her to hurry up and get changed. Chapter 3393. The people outside were also waiting anxiously. Is Little Bean okay? I wonder if Auntie will get mad. Pudding was worried. I don't think so. If something happened, we would have heard her scream. One of Lu Yan's subordinates said. Is Lu Yan such a weirdo? Does she have to risk her life just to be woken up in the morning? Su Yu rubbed his chin, wondering what kind of woman she was. She has a bad temper. And snickered. He remembered when they went to the arcade together and won a prize. They were stopped by some hooligans and Lu Yan beat them to a pulp. And still didn't understand how Dr. Hua, who was so gentle, could have such a hot-tempered sister. Of course, he didn't know that Lu Yan and Huamin were biological sisters. 3 minutes later, Lu Yan came out. Since she didn't wear makeup, she quickly got dressed, brushed her teeth, and washed her face. But even without makeup, Lu Yan was still a one-in-a-million beauty. She would stand out in a crowd. The moment she opened the door, Lu Yan was dumbfounded. Can someone tell me what's going on? Lu Yan looked at the people in the hallway and didn't know how to react. Boss, they're all here to take you out of the hospital, one of her subordinates interrupted. Auntie, this is Handsome Su. Pudding immediately introduced him to her. Lu Yan looked up at Su Yu. I know him. You've met before? Pudding was surprised. We video called each other. You forgot, Lu Yan said calmly. Handsome Su, come up and say hello. Pudding reminded Su Yu in a low voice. Su Yu walked up awkwardly. I'm Su Yu. Oh, I'm Lu Yan. Lu Yan looked like she hadn't woken up yet. Her head was still groggy. She thought their meeting would be exciting but didn't expect it to be so casual. Let's get in the car. Oh, okay. Lu Yan followed the two kids and Su Yu out. Before he left, he instructed his subordinates to go back and rest. Since he would not be hospitalized any longer, there was no need for protection. As soon as she walked out, Lu Yan was speechless at the scene. Are you going to pick up the bride? Why are there so many cars? You're the bride? Little Bean covered her mouth and giggled. No, I'm just going to be discharged from the hospital. Do you really have to make such a big fuss? Don't you feel like a nouveau riche? This was their idea. Su Yu quickly pushed the blame to the twins. To be honest, he didn't think it was very good either. The extravagance of receiving someone from the hospital was comparable to that of a triad boss being released from prison. So where are we going now? Lu Yan was confused. Where were they going with so many cars this early in the morning? Were they going on a road trip? Let's go eat. Auntie, what do you want to eat? Little Bean held Lu Yan's hand happily. What can you eat so early in the morning? Buns or porridge? Huamin asked. No, it's too simple. It's a happy occasion that you're discharged from the hospital. We must celebrate it. Yeah. Auntie, what do you want to eat? Little Bean asked. They had discussed for a long time last night but couldn't decide what to eat, so they decided to ask Lu Yan today. I'm fine with anything. You can decide. How can we do that? Auntie, you're the star of the show. Hurry up. Little Bean urged. Lu Yan looked at them and knew they wouldn't leave if she didn't tell them. How about KFC? Lu Yan thought that since the shop was open so early, the only thing they had was KFC. Lu Yan's words made them speechless. At this moment, Little Bean gave Little Bean a meaningful look. Suddenly, Little Bean looked at Su Yu and said, "Handsome Su, I heard Auntie Zeng Ro is a good cook. Why don't we drive to your house and ask her to cook for us?" Su Yu didn't expect this and was shocked. Chapter 3394. Handsome Su, it should be convenient for you, right? Little Bean asked with a smile. Both of them knew that this was undoubtedly a problem for Su Yu. Zeng Ro wasn't a nanny and cooked for Su Yu and the others out of friendship, not out of duty. So, Su Yu didn't have the right to order Zeng Ro to cook for them. Miss Little Bean, Miss Pudding, Miss Zeng Ro is, and wanted to explain and help his boss out. But before he could finish, Pudding interrupted him. "Handsome Su, why don't you call home and ask her for her opinion? We don't like the food outside anymore and prefer the food at home. I heard that Auntie Zeng Ro is good at cooking. If she agrees, we'll go to your house." Su Yu had no reason to refuse Pudding, but he still felt it wasn't good to order Zeng Ro around. But he still picked up the phone. Zeng Ro was in a daze and didn't seem to be fully awake. "Is it convenient for us to go back and eat?" "Eat? Yeah. Can you make us some breakfast?" Su Yu felt guilty. "For you." Zeng Ro wasn't dumb and knew there must be a lot of people when Su Yu stammered. "Me and Pudding, Little Bean, and their auntie," Su Yu said in a low voice. Zeng Ro immediately knew what he meant. Su Yu heard the silence on the other end of the phone and thought Zeng Ro was going to refuse him. He was about to speak when Zeng Ro said, "Okay, I'll go and prepare now. Do you have ingredients at home? If not, we can buy some on the way back." "Yes. We have everything. I asked In to buy some from the supermarket yesterday. We'll be home in a minute." "Okay." After hanging up, Su Yu still felt guilty. "Yeah. She's going to cook now. Shall we go back now?" Su Yu said. Auntie Zeng Ro agreed? Little Bean was surprised. She agreed. Zeng Ro is a good person. Sometimes she's careless like a man. She won't mind, Su Yu explained. "Let's go and have breakfast." Little Bean held Lu Yan's hand happily as they walked to the car. "Auntie, take the Lamborghini and let Su Yu drive you," Little Bean gossiped. "Ahem, it's okay. You two can sit. I'll sit in the back." Lu Yan sat in Anne's Porsche. Auntie seems to know Uncle Lin well," Little Bean said. "Of course. Uncle Lin took her out before." Pudding watched Lu Yan get into Anne's car. Then, the two of them didn't say much and got into Su Yu's car. As soon as they got in the car, Su Yu began to criticize them. "Tell me, what do you want?" Su Yu looked at them sternly. "What do you mean? Handsome Su, what are you talking about? I don't understand." Little Bean played dumb. "Don't play dumb. You two are trying to pick on Zeng Ro, right? Why do you hate her?" Su Yu thought the two kids really didn't like Zeng Ro. "No, we don't hate her." Little Bean refused to admit it. "Yeah. Handsome Su, how can you tell we hate Zeng Ro?" Pudding also refused to admit it. "Oh, you don't want to admit it? I'll tell your mom later. You two wait." Su Yu began to use his ultimate move. "We'll solve the problem between us. Handsome Su, you're not a gentleman." Little Bean was anxious. If their mom knew they were trying to test Zeng Ro, she'd teach them a lesson. Chapter 3395. The problem is, if I don't go to your parents, you won't tell me the truth, Su Yu said matter-of-factly. The twins looked at each other in silence. In the Porsche behind them, Anne was very excited. He didn't expect Lu Yan to choose to sit in his car. Most women liked Su Yu. Su Yu was the center of attention wherever he went and had a halo around him. And, on the other hand, was just a follower. In his words, he was a stinky bodyguard and a stinky worker. He didn't expect Lu Yan to give him so much face. His hands on the steering wheel began to tremble slightly. He was a bit excited. "Hey, bro, are you okay? You look nervous. Let me do it." Lu Yan didn't think this guy could drive well in this state. "No problem. I just got up too early in the morning and am not in the zone yet," and found an excuse to explain. Lu Yan smiled and didn't say anything. Then she took out her phone to play games. Lu Yan's phone was purely for decoration. She only added her sister and niece on WeChat after she arrived in China. She played all kinds of games just to play games. "You like to play games?" And asked. "I'm okay. I like to play games too. Let's play a round when we have time." And gritted his teeth shyly. "Then I'll crush you. It's boring. I don't want to play." And when talking to Lu Yan, sometimes she could make you laugh, and sometimes she was the absolute king of silence. And felt that it was the first time he took the initiative to find a topic to talk about with a girl. But Lu Yan awkwardly chatted with him. The girls he met on WeChat had all seen and soldier profile and tried their best to please him, thinking he was a soldier with a military rank. In fact, and had been with Su Yu for years and was very rich. But this guy came from a farmer's family. Even if he had money, he saved it and never spent it. Su Yu once said that when he got married, he would give him a house, a sports car, and money. Xiaoan thought that the girl he met before was a good person. She didn't expect Xiaoan to see through her love for money in the end. Later on, Xiaoan was disappointed. He felt that it was not wrong for women to love money. After all, everyone wanted to live a good life. However, he wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Even if he was rich, he wouldn't be able to stand his future wife spending more than 100,000 yuan on a bag. Deep down, he still thought that this was the rhythm of squandering. Perhaps it was because of a different view of spending. Hence, from then on, Xiaoan rarely took the initiative to meet girls. Lu Yan's appearance triggered the emotions he had been suppressing in his heart. In the past, those girls, including the one who held the wedding in his hometown, were all good wives and mothers. That was why he could marry them and live with them. But Lu Yan was different, and found his heart would race when he saw her. Especially when she smiled at him, he felt as happy as flowers blooming in spring. However, Xiaoan didn't know that this was called love. This was called the feeling of falling in love with someone. Perhaps it was because he was thinking too much that he was distracted. On the viaduct, he almost collided with a white Toyota that was overtaking him. "How the fuck do you know how to drive? Are you an idiot?" The Toyota driver rolled down the window and cursed, and had seen this kind of road rage many times. Besides, it was his fault, so he pretended not to hear it and continued driving. Lu Yan slowly put down her cell phone and looked up at the white Toyota with a slightly frown. "Pull over," Lu Yan said. "Huh," and didn't understand what she meant. "I said pull over immediately." Lu Yan seemed to be used to giving orders. Chapter 3396. Hearing Lu Yan's words, and slammed on the brakes. He parked the car on the side of the road and cleverly turned on the double flashing lights to make others think the car had broken down. Otherwise, it wouldn't be right to park on the overpass for no reason. What instructions? Heroin? And was terrified. "You sit in the passenger seat. I'll drive." Before An could react, Lu Yan grabbed his collar and pulled him down. Then she sat in the driver's seat. Then, before An could sit still, the car sped up. Lu Yan slammed on the accelerator and the car shot out like an arrow with a broken string. The speed was very fast. "Slow down. Slow down. There's a speed limit in the downtown area," An reminded her. But Lu Yan didn't care. She overtook several cars and went straight to the white Toyota. Lu Yan and finally understood why Lu Yan wanted to drive. She wanted to cause trouble, and thought Lu Yan was going to fight back with the Porsche in her fury. But she didn't. She overtook the white Toyota sedan and went directly in front of it. Then she slammed on the brakes and stopped in front of the car. The owner of the car didn't expect Lu Yan to do this. When he realized what was going on, it was too late to stop the car. The white Toyota crashed into Su Yu's white Porsche 911. A loud sound rang out, and it scared everyone. Fortunately, Lu Yan was prepared and jumped out of the car with him. The back of the Porsche was badly damaged. The owner of the white Toyota was ejected by the airbag, and his car was also badly damaged. But from the looks of it, he seemed to be fine, but he was scared silly by the scene. The driver stared straight ahead, his mind blank. Lu Yan let go of An, who was still in shock, and swaggered over. "Idiot, you rear-ended me?" Lu Yan said with a smile. "You stopped in front of me on purpose. Are you trying to blackmail me? The man realized what had happened and cursed Lu Yen. Which eye of yours saw me stop in front of you on purpose? Lu Yen asked. Don't try to blackmail me. I have a car recorder. It's already recorded. When the traffic police come, they will judge. The man seemed to be determined. Lu Yen glanced at the parking camera in his car and turned her watch slightly. I'm afraid your dashcam is broken. It's useless. Just admit that you're unlucky. Who said so? I don't believe it. Afraid that Lu Yen would destroy his dashcam, the man immediately took it off the car. However, he couldn't open it at all. He took out the chip and plugged it into the device, but it couldn't display any images. Damn, what's going on? It was still working yesterday. The man was dumbfounded. The driving recorder was indeed broken. Thus, there was no way to prove that the woman had deliberately stopped the car. According to the traffic laws, it was his responsibility to rear-end the car. Your Toyota Camry is worth less than 300,000 yuan, right? My Porsche is worth more than 1 million yuan. Even if you buy insurance, you'll get 500,000 yuan at most. You'll have to pay for the extra. As for the car, it's useless to repair it. Why don't you buy a new one to compensate me? Lu Yen looked up. Bitch, how dare you blackmail me? I'll kill you. Enraged by Lu Yen, the man rushed up and punched her in the face. Chapter 3397. Before Lu Yen could do anything, and dashed out and kicked the man 3 meters away. The man clutched his chest and lay on the ground, unable to get up. Whoa! Everyone come and see. She hit him. She hit him. Seizing the opportunity, the man was about to accuse her when more and more people came to watch. You hit him first. How dare you accuse her? And tried to reason with the man angrily. But the man didn't listen to him. He only wanted to use this as an excuse to accuse her. So, even though he was fine, he lay on the ground and refused to get up. You don't want to get up? I'll do it. Lu Yen walked over with a smile, and had a bad feeling about this. Sure enough, Lu Yen walked up to the man and kicked him. The man could even hear the sound of his ribs breaking. Ah! The man screamed like a pig being slaughtered. Then, Lu Yen raised her foot and stepped on the man's kneecap, then, she kicked again. With a crack, the man's right kneecap also broke. Help! Murder! Murder! The man wailed, and the onlookers were dumbfounded. Then, Lu Yen clapped her hands and said, 4 consecutive fractures on the left ribs and a broken kneecap on the right. According to the standard of Southside Recuperation Center, the surgery fee and follow-up treatment fee should be as high as hundreds of thousands. It's just enough to cover the loss of the Porsche. As for the money, you don't have to pay, and you don't have to scream. Then, Lu Yen turned and walked away, and followed her in a daze. Guards, stop her. Don't let her go. I want her to send me to the hospital. Just wait. A lawyer will contact you. It's up to you whether you want to settle it privately or report it to the police. And didn't want to be outdone. After working for Suyu for so long, he knew a lot about the law, and thought it was wrong for Lu Yen to hit someone on the street. But Suyu had a team of lawyers, and so did Qinchu's company. Then it would be easy to settle it. The person involved didn't have to be here. With the Porsche destroyed, and followed Lu Yen for a few steps. Let's take a taxi back. I'll talk to President Su about the car later. And thought he'd better take the blame. He couldn't blame Lu Yen, a woman. The one opposite, is that a Porsche for? And didn't quite understand and nodded. Lu Yen crossed the street and walked toward the luxurious shop within, following closely behind her. Welcome, the saleswoman said warmly. Do you have a Porsche 911 in stock? How much? If it's high quality, we'll need one. 98 million yuan. If it's on loan or in installments, there's a discount. I'll pay in full. I'll pay by card. Lu Yen took out a dark blue card inlaid with diamonds. The words on the card were all in English. The saleswoman was dumbfounded. She had been selling cars for years, and this was the first time she had met such a straightforward customer. What? You don't accept global diamond cards? Lu Yen frowned slightly. Please wait a moment. 10 minutes later, Lu Yen drove out of the shop in her brand new Porsche. Sitting in the passenger seat, and felt like he was in a dream. This woman got into a fight with someone on the street and crashed her car because of one sentence. Then she spent 15 minutes buying a new car that looked exactly the same. It was simply unbelievably cool. 198 million yuan was an astronomical figure, but Lu Yen bought it as if it were a roasted sweet potato on the street, and felt like his heart couldn't take it anymore. Lu Yen, called in a low voice. Yeah. Lu Yen responded while driving. What do you do for a living? And felt like he wouldn't believe this girl if she said she was just an ordinary college student. She had kicked the man so accurately that his ribs were broken. The force was so great, and the position was so precise. This woman must have a big background. Chapter 3398. Hearing En's question, Lu Yen didn't know how to answer. I'm doing a small business abroad. What kind of business? En obviously didn't believe her. It's like helping someone with something, running errands and so on. If you take someone's money, you have to help them solve problems. Huh? And froze. No. I mean, I'm paid to do something for people. Lu Yen immediately corrected herself. What kind of business is it? And found Lu Yan's words were vague. Forget it. You won't know anyway. Don't ask. Anyway, just think of it as my father's rich and a spendthrift daughter. And nodded and didn't say more. In fact, he was stupid. After all, Dr. Hua and President Qin were both rich. How could his sister be poor? Maybe she was really a rich daughter of an overseas Chinese. She knew some kung fu and probably learned it from elementary school because she was afraid of being kidnapped. Lu Yen and An arrived more than 10 minutes later than Su Yu and the others. They didn't talk about the fight or the new car, and was afraid his boss's heart wouldn't be able to take it. When Lu Yen and An walked in, Zheng Ro had finished making breakfast and was putting it on the table. It was a simple breakfast. Zheng Ro had baked bread, sliced ham, and fried eggs. After all, Zheng Ro wasn't a professional and didn't know how to make soup dumplings. Is that all? Lu Yen glanced at it and asked mildly. Auntie, what do you want to eat? Little Bean flattered. I like Chinese food. I want congee and pickles, said Lu Yen. And you go out and buy some. Su Yu glanced at An. No need. I'll cook some. It'll be quick, said Zheng Ro. What about pickles? You don't have any at home, right? Su Yu didn't like pickles and rarely bought any at home. Pickles are easy. I can make some with cucumbers. Wait a minute. Zheng Ro didn't say much. She thought it would be troublesome for An to go out and do it herself. Then let me help you. Su Yu didn't think it was a good idea to let Zheng Ro work in the kitchen while they were eating. Handsome Su, are you worried? Little Bean smiled. Don't talk nonsense. I just think that Zheng Ro isn't our housekeeper. You guys eat. I'll help him. After that, Su Yu followed her into the kitchen. President Su Yu, I'll go help Miss Zheng. And stood up and was about to leave when Lu Yen kicked him. Sit down. And didn't understand. It's none of your business. Just sit down. Lu Yen glared at An. And didn't dare to move. He had a vague feeling that the twins and Lu Yen were acting strange today, but he couldn't put his finger on it. Inside the kitchen when Su Yu entered, Zheng Ro was washing rice. Let me help you. No need. You can go out and eat. I'll be done in a while. You are not unhappy, are you? Why would I be unhappy? Zheng Ro looked at Su Yu. The twins suddenly said they wanted to eat here. I guess they have some misunderstanding about you. They're close to me and don't like the women around me. I hope you don't mind. I know. Zheng Ro nodded. I'm sorry about what happened today. I apologize. You're not our housekeeper and have no obligation to do this for us. Su Yu felt guilty. What are you talking about? Aren't we friends? Zheng Ro smiled. Chapter 3399. We're friends, but Su Yu wanted to say more. But if you really want to help me wash the rice, I'll peel the cucumber. Zheng Ro put the small bowl of rice in Su Yu's hand. When they came out, it was half an hour later. The rice porridge is ready. Zheng Rou brought it to them. But I'm full, Lu Yan said. Zheng Rou, what's wrong with you? You're too slow. Are you professional? Lu Yan glared at Zheng Rou. Miss Lu, she's not my housekeeper. She's my friend, Su Yu explained immediately. Friend? President Su, are you so generous? Can a female friend live in your house? Lu Yan asked deliberately. A trace of awkwardness flashed across Zheng Rou's face. Although she was the one who had shamelessly moved in, she was still a little embarrassed when someone really exposed her. Miss Zheng is President Su's girlfriend. That's why she's living here. And felt that Zheng Rou was a nice person and often made breakfast and supper for them, so he felt bad if he didn't say something now. Seeing En and Su Yu defending her, Zheng Rou felt comforted. Oh, your girlfriend? I see. I'm sorry. Lu Yan chuckled. It's okay. Let's eat. Zheng Rou didn't say anything. Sitting beside Su Yu with a smile, she lowered her head and began to eat. You do it. We've finished. Su Yu, you have a swimming pool. I want to swim. Lu Yan glanced at the twins. You two come with me. Okay, Andy. Following Lu Yan, Little Bean and Pudding walked to the swimming pool in front of them, and finished eating and went back to his room to change clothes. Only Zheng Rou and Su Yu were left in the dining room. The atmosphere was a bit awkward. Who's that woman? That's Hua Mian's little sister. Su Yu would mention Hua Mian's name in a gentle tone. Oh, so that's Dr. Hua's sister. She's so pretty. Yeah, they have good genes. That's why Pudding and Little Bean are so pretty. Su Yu was full of pride when he talked about the twins. Pudding and Little Bean seem to want to introduce you to their aunt, Zheng Rou said. No way? Su Yu was a little surprised. Can't you see what the children are thinking? That's impossible. How old is her auntie? She's only in her early 20s. She's so energetic. She's not my cup of tea. Su Yu had heard about how outstanding Lu Yan was, but after meeting her in person he found that Lu Yan was beautiful and had a domineering aura. However, she was indeed not his type. It was that simple. The child must be trying to matchmake the two of you. After all, you're both so outstanding. In that case, I don't think it's convenient for me to keep living here. I'll pack up and move to the hotel later. But isn't it nice to live here? There are plenty of rooms in the house. If Zheng Rou had moved out under normal circumstances, Su Yu wouldn't have said anything. However, Su Yu felt a little guilty when she moved out under such circumstances. It was as if she had been bullied by a bunch of people. I think I'm redundant here. Zheng Rou smiled awkwardly. Su Yu didn't say anything. Su Yu, if you had to choose between Lu Yan and me, who would you choose? Zheng Rou suddenly looked at Su Yu's profile and asked seriously. Chapter 3400. I choose. N. Su Yu answered without hesitation. Zheng Rou, what kind of answer is that? Zheng Rou was exasperated. I'm telling the truth. I haven't known you and Lu Yan for long and have no feelings for each other. And I, on the other hand, have been together for years. So, Su Yu, you're going to change your sexual orientation to avoid me? Zheng Rou didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Stop fooling around. Su Yu lowered his head to eat the porridge and stopped talking to Zheng Rou. By the swimming pool, Lu Yan reclined in a chair with her legs crossed, questioning Little Bean. Tell me, whose idea was it? Auntie, what are you talking about? I don't understand. Little Bean chuckled. You too, do you really think I can't tell what you're thinking? I even volunteered to be your cannon fodder just now. You two should thank me. Auntie, you can tell? Little Bean bit her lip and walked to her auntie's side. Of course I can tell. You two are so mischievous. For Su Yu's sake, you're willing to do anything. Did you drive away all the female stars in the past? Yeah. Those pretentious bitches hate us. Didn't you see how angry Jian Tong was when she saw us? Little Bean said proudly. So, this test is for the woman named Zheng Rou, right? Auntie, nothing escapes your eyes. Little Bean ran up to her auntie and massaged Lu Yan's shoulders. You two are so childish. Yeah. We're only 3-year-old kids. Isn't it in our nature to be childish? Little Bean smiled smugly. Fine. Fine. You win. Lu Yan didn't know how to answer him. Auntie, this is all we can do to help Handsome Sue. He loves us very much, so we can't let bad women be around him. We don't know what kind of person Zheng Ro is, so... Little Bean paused. So you two came up with this stupid idea. Lu Yan chuckled. It's not that bad. I think it's still useful. Pudding stuck out her tongue. You're right. Character is indeed important. But have you thought about it? Even if Zheng Ro's character is good and she's a good match for Su Yu, what then? Let's set them up, Little Bean said. How is that possible? It would be great if feelings were so simple. Let me ask you, what if Su Yu doesn't like you? Can you hold a gun to him? No. The twins shook their heads in unison. So, what you two are doing now is secondary. Su Yu's heart is the most important thing, Lu Yan said. Auntie, why don't you get together with Handsome Su? Little Bean's words almost made Lu Yan choke. Cough, cough, cough. Auntie, it's true. You're so excellent that Handsome Su will fall in love with you, Little Bean said happily. You're trying to match me up again. Su Yu isn't my type. Besides, I'm already taken. If my boyfriend finds out, he'll be furious. Mommy said Auntie has a fiancé. Let's not link Handsome Su to Auntie. But Auntie, what do you think of Zheng Ro? Pudding asked mysteriously. You can't tell at first glance. Many shrewd people are good at pretending. They can hide their feelings for a year, let alone a day. You're right. So, we can't let down our guard against Zheng Ro. Little Bean nodded. So, does your mommy know you two are fooling around? Lu Yan looked at the two kids with her arms crossed. Chapter 3401. Mommy doesn't know. Auntie, please don't tell Mommy. Frightened, Little Bean waved her hands. You two have good ideas. Lu Yan felt like her two nieces were about to ascend to heaven. They talked in the swimming pool for a while and then went into the house. Su Yu was talking on the phone in the living room, talking about the company, and was cleaning Lu Yan's Porsche with his head lowered, thinking about something. Zheng Ro was cleaning up the mess in the kitchen. With so many people eating, there were piles of plates and bowls. She didn't have to do these things at home, but in Su Yu's house, she was like a nanny. Not only did she have to serve Su Yu, but she also had to serve him. But Zheng Ro felt this life was much better than before, when she had everything to eat and wear. Pudding felt bad about it. Even though it was a test, she didn't want to push her too far. So, when she went to get ice cream from the fridge, she took an extra one into the kitchen. Auntie Zheng Ro. Zheng Ro looked back. Here you are. Thank you. Zheng Ro felt warm and took the ice cream from Pudding. Auntie Zheng Ro, thank you for the breakfast. It was delicious, Pudding said. I'm glad you like it. In fact, I don't cook much and was worried it wouldn't taste good. I found the cucumber and pickled vegetables on Baidu. Su Yu said it was delicious. I was lucky. Zheng Ro smiled with satisfaction. The one outside is my auntie. Yeah. Su Yu told me about her. Zheng Ro nodded. Is your leg okay? Pudding lowered her head to look at Zheng Ro's injured leg. It's okay. It's recovering well, but I can't walk as nimbly as before. Damn it. Otherwise, I would have gone shopping. Zheng Ro pursed her lips. I think you can go to my mommy's place and let her take a look at you and give you a good checkup. Yeah. I want to go too. I heard Dr. Hua has great medical skills. He does, Pudding said without hesitation. Pudding, you and Little Bean hate me, don't you? After washing all the dishes, Zheng Ro turned around and squatted down. Asked in a low voice, holding the ice cream in one hand. No. We just don't like women who approach Handsome Su for no reason, Pudding said vaguely. Did many women approach him like this in the past? Yes, the actresses from Imperial Star often do that. They even try to seduce Handsome Su and wear very little, Pudding said. Zheng Ro blushed slightly. I didn't. My clothes are normal. I don't show any skin, Zheng Ro hurriedly explained. Will you stay at Handsome Su's house forever? Zeng Ro didn't know what to say. What if handsome Su has someone he likes? Then I'll definitely move out. I was just thinking that you might want to introduce your aunt to him. It's really inconvenient for me to stay at home. I can stay at a hotel. While Zeng Ro said this, Pudding stared at her face and studied her micro-expressions, trying to figure out if she was telling the truth. Pudding realized that Zeng Ro didn't mean to say that. Maybe she really thought so. That's not necessary. Your leg is injured. You can stay there for now. But don't do anything to hurt handsome Su. Otherwise, we won't forgive you, Pudding said. I won't. I swear I don't mean any harm to Su you, Zeng Ro explained. Pudding was about to speak when Little Bean yelled, Sis, come out. The car outside looks like Mommy's car. Chapter 3402. Hearing that Mommy was here, Pudding was confused. She was afraid that Mommy would blame her for this. Huamin was pregnant with her second child and couldn't drive like before. Wherever he went, he was followed by a large entourage. There were also drivers who were extremely skilled. She had bodyguards with excellent shooting skills. In her own words, she was treated like a national treasure. So, when Qin Chu's Mercedes-Benz RV, Huamin's personal car, came in, Pudding was shocked. The twins were terrified. My goodness. It's really Mommy. Pudding felt guilty. Damn it. Who tipped off Mommy? I'm going to kill her. Pudding thought Mommy should have gone to the hospital for a meeting early in the morning. Why was she here? If it's Zeng Ro, I won't forgive her. She's a scheming bitch. Pudding was agitated and pushed all the blame to Zeng Ro. Don't talk nonsense. We haven't figured out what's going on yet. Don't blame a good person. I don't think Auntie Zeng Ro would do such a thing. Pudding chatted with Zeng Ro in the kitchen. Her instincts told her that Zeng Ro wasn't a woman like Jian Tong. As soon as she said that, Huamin opened the door and walked in. President Hua. And was nervous when he saw Huamin. Even though they were close, he still felt pressured. Maybe it was because of the doctor's aura. Huamin nodded and walked in. Sis, you're here. Lu Yen was very close to Huamin. You just got out of the hospital and you're already here. Huamin scolded her with concern. I'm bored to death. My niece brought me here for breakfast. Lu Yen chuckled. And you betrayed us so easily. Little Bean gritted her teeth in anger. What are you two up to this time? Huamin tilted his head and looked at his two daughters. Mommy, we thought that since Auntie was discharged today and you're busy with work, you wouldn't have time to take care of her. We talked to handsome Su and he volunteered to take Auntie to his house for breakfast, so we came, Little Bean said. Su Yu felt like he had become the scapegoat. What's wrong with your breakfast? Huamin looked at Su Yu with a smile. No. I've been busy for the past few days and didn't have time to welcome your sister. Since I'm free today, I thought. Su Yu couldn't justify himself. So you drove 10 luxury cars to pick up Yen like you were picking up the mayor? Huamian asked. You already know. How could I not know? You guys are on Weibo's hot search list. Can you please keep a low profile? Huamian didn't know whether to laugh or cry. How could this be on the hot search list? You people here must be bored. Lu Yen didn't think it was a big deal. Let's go. Come back with me for a checkup. I won't let you go until I know your brain is fine. Huamin held Lu Yan's hand. Sis, that's not necessary, right? Huamin glanced at Lu Yan's face coldly. Of course. Sis, you're pretty and everything you say is right. Lu Yan didn't spend much time with her sister and didn't want to upset her. Therefore, she cared about Huamin's mood. Seeing that her sister was unhappy, she immediately changed her words. You two come with me. Mommy. Little Bean was about to say something. If I remember correctly, today isn't the weekend. So, Miss Qin Zhao Zhao and Miss Qin Mumu, are you two going to skip school? Do you want me to call Mr. Qin Chu now? Huamin stared at the twins, scaring them so much that they didn't even dare to breathe. Chapter 3403. Mommy will go right away. Don't be mad. Little Bean immediately tried to please her mother. Mommy, Can we ask handsome Sue to drive us? Or Uncle Lin can? Little Bean was a bit scared. I'll drive you. Get in the car. Huamin's expression was serious. The twins didn't dare to say more and followed the chauffeur into the car. Sis, it's not their fault. Lu Yan saw her sister was unhappy and wanted to speak up for the twins. But Huamin interrupted her. Yan, wait for me in the car. Lu Yan didn't dare to say more and got into the RV with the twins. Huamin turned to look at Suyu. Dr. Hua, if you're angry, take it out on me. I asked them to stay last night and took them to the hospital today. Suyu was afraid the twins would be scolded. After all, Huamin was famous for being strict with the kids, so he took all the blame. Oh, you're a hero. Uncle Lei. Huamin sneered. No. Dr. Hua, let's talk nicely. Don't be so sarcastic, okay? Suyu hated Huamin the most. Yeah. President Hua, please sit down. And immediately brought over a chair. Huamin didn't sit down. She was 4 months pregnant and her belly was big. Wearing a Korean-style dress with lotus leaf sleeves, she looked like a pretty girl from a humble family. However, she didn't look like a pregnant woman. She was wearing a pair of flats, but her feet were slightly swollen. Maybe it was because she was pregnant. All right, it's been a morning and you guys haven't had a good rest. Hurry up and go do your own things. Huamin didn't say anything and didn't blame Suyu. Mia. Suyu was worried. Suyu, where's Zhengro? Can I talk to her? Huamin said. She's in the kitchen. Suyu pointed at the kitchen. Huamin slowly walked over. Did you tell Mian? Suyu pointed at it and asked. It really wasn't me, President Su. I swear. And looked aggrieved. Then who is it? How did she know we were here? Suyu was puzzled. How long had it been since he came back? Huamin suddenly came to visit. Inside the kitchen, Zhengro didn't plan to meet Huamin. After all, if she went out to greet him, she would be seen as flattering, and if she didn't say anything, she would be seen as arrogant. Therefore, she deliberately hid in the kitchen and cleaned here and there, not going out. However, she did not expect Huamin to take the initiative to look for her. Zhengro. Huh. Zhengro looked back, a little guilty. She was living in Suyu's place and had no status there. She was afraid that Huamin would beat around the bush and say something, so she could be shameless in front of Suyu. But as a woman, if she was scolded in front of Huamin, she would be embarrassed. I'm sorry about today, Huamin said. Huh. Huamin's sudden apology shocked and confused Zhengro. Pudding and Little Bean are very obedient. Maybe it's because they are too close to Suyu that they are hostile to you. They deliberately gave you a hard time and brought you a lot of trouble. It's my fault as their mother. I'll discipline them when I get back. No. Dr. Hua, Pudding and Little Bean are fine. They didn't give me a hard time. Zhengro immediately waved her hand, not wanting to cause trouble. The children thought she had bad intentions. I'm sorry about the breakfast. You've been busy all morning. Zhengro could tell that Huamin knew what had happened here. It's okay. Even if Pudding and Little Bean aren't here, I still have to make breakfast. And in Su you are used to it. I just made a little more today. Huamin didn't say anything. He took out a business card from his bag, wrote a few words, and handed it to Zhengro. Find me at Southside Recuperation Center in an hour. Then Huamin turned and left. Zhengro held the business card from Huamin, still in shock. Chapter 3404. Huamin didn't talk to Zhengro for long before he turned around and left. Mian, have you had breakfast? Suyu asked. Yes. I'm going to work now. You should go too. Yan's just recovered from her injury and I don't want her to run around. After saying goodbye, Huamian got into her car and left. President Hua doesn't look happy, and murmured, Do I need you to tell me that? I could tell the moment she walked in. That's strange. Who informed President Hua? And was puzzled. Suyu didn't say anything. Could it be Miss Zhengro? And suspected instinctively. After all, there were only a few people here and Lu Yen hadn't called him on the way here. He had been with Lu Yen the whole time. The twins didn't dare to say anything and Suyu wouldn't tell anyone. So, Zheng Ro was the only suspect left. It wasn't me, Zheng Ro said as she walked out of the kitchen, and was so embarrassed that he felt cancer was about to explode. Immediately, he stood up. I'm going to clean the car. President Su, call me when you leave. And immediately found an excuse and left. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to face Zheng Ro. In fact, he was just guessing and was surprised that Zheng Ro had hurt him. Embarrassed, Su Yu turned around and glanced at Zheng Ro. And was just guessing. He meant no harm. Don't be angry. I'm not angry. It's normal for you to think that way. I'm curious how Huamin knew about this. She seems to know everything, including that I made breakfast. Just now Su Yu looked at Zheng Ro and didn't continue. Obviously, Zheng Ro knew what he was going to say. Huamin apologized to me. I felt she was angry. I'm afraid the twins will be scolded. Do you want to go and beg for mercy? I don't dare. No one can stop Mian from scolding the kids. Su Yu was exasperated. She asked me to go to the hospital to see her. See her? Su Yu was more confused. Did he say anything? Zheng Ro shook her head. Mian is so weird today. Su Yu muttered to himself. Inside the motor home, the atmosphere was very oppressive. On the spacious seats, the four of them sat facing each other. In the middle was a small coffee table. Huamin and Lu Yen sat on one side while Pudding and Little Bean sat on the other. The car drove steadily on the road. Tell me, what's going on between the two of you? Huamin's face was cold. Mommy, what are you talking about? Little Bean played dumb. Pudding just bit her lip and didn't say anything. Don't play dumb. Whose idea was it to ask Zheng Ro to make breakfast for you this morning? Huamin asked sternly. Only then did the two children realize the seriousness of the matter. Both of them remained silent. Sister, how did you know about this? Did someone snitch on us? Lu Yen thought her subordinates might have told her sister about it. But on second thought, she didn't think it was right. When she left, her subordinates also left the hospital and didn't see her sister. Yen, don't interrupt. Huamin didn't want Lu Yen to interfere with him disciplining the twins. You have 3 seconds. Tell me whose idea was it? Huamin glanced at his daughters. Today, they were wearing white short-sleeved shirts and navy suspenders with bows on their collars. It was a beautiful school uniform. Mommy, it was me. Mommy, it was me. To their surprise, the two children spoke in unison. So, it was your idea, right? Huamin asked word for word. You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.